So I'm just in my living room today. I don't really feel like sitting in my office, and all the sun is coming in through my front window, so I'm out here today. And I'm just doing an update for the third week of Victoria, BC real estate numbers. So far we've done 378 sales for the total of September. Last year that was 640 sales that went through. So we are still behind, and I'm hearing projections of being in the mid 500s for total sales going through in Victoria. So we'll see what happens there, but we're definitely behind this month as well. New listings, we've had about 930 new listings come to market so far in September, and last year we were at 1,072 listings. So this is pretty good, and we'll probably surpass last year's number because I think people are kind of picking up on the whole slowness of the market, and they're trying to get out before things get bad. So active listings on the market right now, we're at 2,648 active listings in Victoria, BC. Last year that was 1976, I think. Yeah, about 1900. Give or take. So active listings are definitely creeping up there, and as we're not going to have as many sales going through at the end of September, that number will stay fairly high. So as I always say, well, let's see what happens in October, but September tends to be pretty busy, and it's not been that busy, so it's kind of an interesting climate we're in right now. At my weekly meeting just for my real estate brokerage, they had a mortgage broker in, and they were talking about interest rates that will likely go up, and they're just kind of preparing people for that. And it's something to look into if you're looking at getting a mortgage. Be really conservative in your financing, because I'm finding that people are having to borrow the max amount just to get, say a house that's $700,000, and it's like, if you're at your max and it's, maybe a situation where you're going to have to refinance at a higher rate, then I would be kind of concerned. And, maybe just give yourself some wiggle room in case you have to weather a rate increase now, or even when you refinance in, whatever the end of your term is. If it's 2 to 3 years or 5 years, just make sure you don't go right to your max, because I do see those rates to keep going up, and that's what I'm hearing from mortgage brokers. So something else that was interesting that I came across this morning, just reading through the news, I saw something called imbyx.com. It stands for In My Backyard. I don't know what the X stands for, but basically it allows you, it's like a platform that allows you to invest in properties starting at $1 per share. So they basically take a property, and the company owns it as a corporation and then sells you shares of that property. So basically it allows you to get into a property investment scenario as an investment vehicle without needing to have $200,000 or what have you to be able to access those kind of high profile investments that most of the time you need like a certain amount of capital to actually be able to invest in properties of that nature. So essentially they're just creating stocks out of properties, and they've only got 3 on their website right now, but it's just something to look at. I found it really interesting. I'm not going to put my money into it right now because I don't really need to, and I just, I'm just sharing it in case anybody's interested and they can't get in the market, but they want to kind of play the field and just play around a little bit if you just want to throw in $50 and just see how it goes. But it's an interesting idea, and I just think it could be something in the future that might take off, but I'm just sharing it in case anybody's interested. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about is just in the recent kind of days that I've been working and meeting with people, I'm meeting a lot of people who actually don't have any type of budget in place for their finances, and I feel like I want to do some videos on budgeting just to share what I know and what I've learned over the years, because I'm a pretty big budget nerd. And there's a program that I use called You Need a Budget. It's youniedabudget.com, and it budgets like future-based budgeting. You're not budgeting what you're earning. It's like you have the money set aside and you use that for your budget. So it's like it's hard to explain, but I'm going to do a video on that because I just want to talk a little bit about budgeting with people, because I feel like people are wasting so much money, and I'm hearing a lot of people that are starting to look for second jobs because they need an extra $300 or so per month. And I feel like if I can show people how to find money in their budget, maybe people can maximize their time and not have to go seek out secondary employment. But and one last thing I wanted to mention really, really quick. If you are buying a property, be super careful about your property pricing, okay? If you're looking at a property, just check the pricing from a couple years ago, because I'm seeing so many properties right now that are priced at like $900,000 and they were sold, literally sold, like 2 years ago for $550,000, $600,000, and I feel like those numbers are kind of scary to me, because that kind of indicates where I feel like they're probably going to be headed. So if you're buying, just check the numbers first. If you have a realtor working for you, just check those sales numbers, see what those properties sold for previously, and check those improvements, because I said it last time, but I cannot say it enough. Do your due diligence and make sure that you're not overpaying, because right now it's really easy to be overpaying for a property, and I just don't want to see anybody get burned. So that's all, but I just want to throw that out there. Okay, bye.